Oh snap, oh snap. What's up, y'all? I am back. I am back. I've spent some time, had to take care of some business. Now I'm back. Uh, welcome one and all to the Jerkmonger Show. I'm excited. I hope you guys can hear me okay. I don't know if you guys or anybody's in the chat yet. If you are, go ahead and hit me up here. I'm going to be doing some more stuff on my secret project. I can't wait. I'm doing some more new things and kind of excited. Ain't gonna lie. But in the meantime, if you guys will want to jump in the chat and ask me some questions, I'm going to try to do my best to look up and down. But meanwhile, I'm going to be working on my Cintiq. So give me a shout. I will talk to you guys in a minute. Let me go ahead and switch my camera over so we can get this party started correctly, right? Let's get this party started, right? Let's get this party started quickly, right? Boom. All right. All right. So I haven't really shared much of this project with anyone, frankly. I'm kind of working on it. It's going to be cool. It's going to be cool, I think. Let me do this here. Yeah, if you guys can let me know that you can hear me okay, please do. I'm just setting up my little deal here. For crying out loud. All right. So I like drawing. I'm just, this is some of what I was doing earlier was more like a loosening up, work to hurt, play tricks on your nerves. Right on. I'm going to adjust my setup here a little bit more. No, that's not going to help. I'm going to get my dealio squared away. No. Sorry, guys. All right. So, like I said, I'm going to be creating some stuff. Now, this is going to be a story. It's going to be a fantasy story. This is going to kind of, some of you may have remembered me talking about something called the Jerkmonger story, a comic I was working on. This is not going to replace, well, it's going to replace my project that I was going to work on for Bubba Squatch for now. I think there's a few Bigfoot things coming out that I don't want to compete with right now. I'd rather not do all that. Not necessary. So this is kind of that guy I was drawing earlier, this guy here. He's cool and all, but I don't like that style. I want to do it more in what I used to call the Jerkmonger style, which is more like that big and juicy style. So you guys can kind of see this now. Yeah, I love using the blue instead. I think it's almost, is this going to be like Battle Chasers by Joe Mann? Huh, that's interesting, and you should say that. Kinda. As a matter of fact. What made you think that? Geek Out Loud, what made you think that? You should use the airbrush. No, stop with the airbrush. Oh, I hate airbrushing tools. I'm not even kidding with you, Nolan. I hate the airbrush tool. Hey, man, are you off of work yet? I can send you the link. Well, they might have some other people, though. I'm not sure you want to jump on it right now. You're the guy you drew and said it would be a fantasy. Well, it's not going to be a. Well, what do you think about that, Geek Out Loud? What do you think about that? Oh, you're not out yet. Okay. I'm not going to be able to jump on tonight because tonight's my wife's birthday celebration. So we're going to be out of pocket, if you will. So I'm just trying to get a handle on who these characters are. 3D Robin, Bubba Squatch look cool, but I'm glad you're doing human characters for Project Fantasy. Also cool. Yeah, I think so too. I feel like that's something that's missing in some of the projects that I've been seeing, and I think the way that I want to do it is going to be cool. So that's a big plus for me. Hopefully, it'll come across like that for you guys as well. I'm just positioning some of my reference stuff here. Yeah. Oops, I'm not paying attention to my chat here. Not paying attention to my chat here. So Nolan says, I'm sitting here watching my life being sucked right out of me. Hey man, listen, that's how my life is in general, man. All right, here we go. I'm gonna actually lower the opacity on this brush. It's too dark, too heavy. I wanna, there's not enough high fantasy stuff. Game of Thrones is too low fantasy for me. Might as well be normie medieval stories. Yeah, that's one of the reasons why I haven't watched it. I'm not, I don't know enough about it to say that it isn't good. I just know enough to say I don't think it's my interpretation of what I like. I really like Lord of the Rings. Um, I like other stuff like that. Dungeons and Dragons. You know, one of my favorite cartoons as a kid was Dungeons and Dragons cartoon, and I love the idea of I love worlds that have a lot of lore. I mean, I'm sure I would like Game of Thrones. I just don't know if I would like it as much as what I think it expresses. Did it crash or is it just me? Oh, I think it is shifting. Why would it crash? Did it crash? Okay, I think we're back on here. So this guy is going to um, is replacing Jerkmonger for me. I wonder if I can incorporate some of the older design elements that I had planned for Jerkmonger, like the hair, that kind of stuff could be cool. Lafayette, what's up, man? Hey, you want to jump on? Are you available? I got a little bit of time. My wife isn't back yet from picking up the kids, and I'm going to be doing this for a bit. So yeah, one block and one dimensions peanut butter macaroni. You're so stupid. Here, I'm gonna send you a link, man. I'm gonna send you the link. Let's see. Just in case. I'm not sure if you can come on, but just in case. You're always you're always available. You're always my man. I'm gonna put you here. Bam, bam, bam. Beep, 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 doo, doo, oh, that might be my wife now. All right, so I think this is part of who he is. I like this look already. I like him with a short haircut kind of thing. I had him planned with long hair, but this is something that I like. I'm in another dimension where they only serve pizza with raisins. Geek says Battletoads was really cool, but all those cliffhanger comics died after like 5 or 6 issues because they were constantly late. Yeah, well, that's the beauty of something like this. I feel like I haven't had my chance to express myself through comics yet the way I want to. And one of the things that I think Indiegogo has provided is a place where I can possibly do what I want to do, and hopefully you guys will support me on that. And that way I'll have the time to not just do it. Like I'm thinking about this story, maybe taking it maybe to about 3 different books. So it depends on how things roll out for me sooner than later. So this along with Cthulhu, there's gonna be some Cthulhu in this. Probably a lot of Cthulhu in here. There's gonna be some cool stuff. They should have produced multiple issues before releasing. Well, back then, man, those guys were rock stars, and they were Well, J. Scott Campbell's still a rock star. Did Chasers ever end? Even end? I mean, he made a game promising more stuff for those who backed it, and then forced everyone. I actually backed that game. The game is out. I think the game itself is the continuation of the story, Nolan. So no, it didn't end. It's funny how you guys are vibing right with me as far as, yeah, it's a video game now. I'm gonna give him a scar here. This guy has a scar. He's a very important character. I might give him an eye patch, but as of right now, this guy's an old warrior. He kind of looks like some friend of mine. I'm probably gonna get rid of this here. Baby, baby, when I look at you. All right, so what do you guys think? I like the hair. I like the hair a lot. I like this look on dudes. And they have kind of like a military style look to their hair. It kind of comes
Kind of looks like
forward.
Thor.
And is that you, Lafayette?
No, it's God. How are you doing, Elliot?
Hey, talk
I
again.
know already how you're doing. I know everything.
Well, and double well. What's up, brother? How you feeling today?
Same old different day. As for Battle Chasers, it never ended. You are correct, and the game kind of sucks.
Did it really suck?
It was just such a boring, repetitive RPG game that tried to copy the old Final Fantasies, and it was the graphics are cool because it looks like Joe Mad's art, and the animation's really cool in it, but the game was very boring.
Well, I think that's funny you say that because one of the things that I loved about the book is also one of the things that I didn't care about the book, that it was focused on the art. Unfortunately, the art by itself didn't finish the story. So, but I'm a big fan of Joe Madureira. I'm a big fan of that kind of art style. And what I kind of have here is it's a variation of that concept. So weird that you guys picked up on that though, because nobody's talking about that stuff right now, and all of a sudden everybody's like, "Yeah, Battle Chasers." Yeah, I just thought about that last night. I was like, "Nah, I want to do this."
The thing about Joe Mad is he probably is the most copied artist since like he blew up with X-Men. And then all these copycat artists came about. Even nowadays, people are still copying his style, even though it's not dead on, but you
Even
can
me.
see the influence just from Joe Mad alone.
Yeah, well, so what? I don't care. What are you trying to say?
No, it's not a problem. I'm just saying he is a huge influence, especially on, I would say, artists that started, teenagers that started drawing in the mid 2000s, maybe early 2000s actually. He's a huge influence. I mean,
Well,
probably one of the most influential comic book artists since 2000.
you guys will remember a lot of his work is derivative of things like Capcom and Street Fighter, which have still continued on despite his lack of productivity in that regard.
Oh yeah. No,
You know,
he's definitely big time anime inspired. Yeah.
yeah. In fact, when I was thinking about this idea, I was like, everyone's kind of like trying to do their interpretation of what they remember from the '90s, and for me, that interpretation has been what was the Danger Girl and Battle Chasers was my favorite stuff of the '90s. If there was anything in the '90s that I appreciate, it's that. So anyway, so for me, and I like the story idea the most on Battle Chasers. I was most disappointed in that. Like I said when J. Scott Campbell stopped drawing Danger Girl, but I got really upset. Not upset. I was sad. I was sad because there wasn't enough content. And then since then, he's done some stuff here and there, but this has always been for me, the better thing. So I'm kind of doing my own riff on that concept, doing my own interpretation. Is that a bad thing, you think?
No, and also, I mean, with Campbell, I mean, the book did continue with different artists as well, but you know, he just like somebody said earlier, those guys couldn't keep up with the demand of those books. And I
Right,
think what
right.
happened with Joe Mad was it's kind of like what you said. I think he was drawing cool stuff for, you know, and taking elements from, you know, his manga, anime, and all, making cool. But I think he just didn't have any clue where it was going.
Well,
Yeah.
I don't forget that around that time was when he started to do more game stuff, and he got
Oh yeah,
that's what.
he was. Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
he kind of abandoned
He did.
this comics. You know, he wasn't really. It wasn't really. It wasn't that he. Cause see, I think that's where I think a lot of people, especially who are comic book enthusiasts, we have a tendency to kind of be like, oh, how come this guy dropped the book? You know, and you forget that you've heard me talk about the different challenges there are in the comic book industry, and you can only imagine that a guy like Joe, look at the rock stars of today and how they seldom draw books, right? Olivier Coipel, he's working on a very specific book for Mark Miller that's going to be on Netflix or whatever. Um,
Hmm.
some interpretation of that. You've got you've got who is some of the other guys? That's Olivier Coipel. Ivan Reis has limited his production lately.
Oh,
You
time.
know,
Yeah.
so it's that some of these guys are like, you know what, I don't need to keep drawing all this stuff all the time. It's not paying as much, and I can do my own stuff. And I think, in the end of the day, I think what we learned was that Joe was actually more of a fan of gaming than he was. I remember he was slow on the X-Men too, and they used to say they used to make fun of him because he was always playing Final Fantasy, and
Yeah,
then he
yeah.
became
I mean,
a game artist.
remember, he went to go be the head, more or less the head creative director for that Darksiders game, and that's
Yeah,
kind of what
absolutely.
ended. That's what ended Battle Chasers. He's like, no, I want to go do this. This is more fun for me,
Yeah, that's exactly
you
right.
know.
So I mean,
And
so that must have been his plan all along. That's what I'm saying.
oh yeah, for sure. Anytime you read an interview of his or see an interview, he just talks about he more or less wants to get into video games. He, you know, like comics was his way into break the mold for his art, and then oh, video games. That's what I want to do.
Yeah, yeah. So it says here,
Yeah,
Sherry Whiskey says, Elliot, I got my Lobo last night. It's fantastic. Thank you. Woo! That's what I'm talking about. Nolan says Joe Matt is embarrassed by his X-Men work. He also says he went full tilt into Darksiders. Absolutely. Kika Allah says Joe Matt had a mixture of like manga, American comics, and I feel like he has some flavor that you see a lot in Latin European and Latin American artists. Yeah, I think that's true. You know, a little bit of. I think actually all those guys were imitating him. Umberto Ramos and all those cats. Those
oh
guys
yeah.
were they were not. You remember Roger Cruz?
Roger Cruz. Remember Roger Cruz? So I remember this in X Men when he was drawing X Men. Well, they're both doing it at the same time. And Roger Cruz came
Yeah,
in a little bit afterwards, and he was
yeah.
such a copycat. But Madureira would write in his books, in the background of like Subway and the walls, he would put "Cruz steals again." Cruz rips me, you know, and it was always
Yeah,
so funny because if you weren't a comic book dork, you wouldn't catch those things in the background, and it was just so funny.
yeah, 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 yeah. So
Yeah, you
yeah,
could
I
see
think
what
that's
man, he was blatantly ripping him off, like the poses, almost like he was tracing it. Like,
yo, have you seen Roger lately? His new
oh, it's
stuff?
amazing.
He's
Oh yeah, yeah,
incredible. But you know what's funny, man? And this is kind of I don't know, that's not my it's not my business, but it's ironic to me is what it is that he's still experiment, which is not a bad thing, I guess. It's not a bad thing. But I saw some of his most recent stuff and he's kind of swiping Ryan Otley. But I think it's because he feels like maybe that's the new crazy,
what you're
craze.
right about that too. I saw that, and it does look like, you know, it's the biggest thing is how people do like their shading and how they do their their blocking of the blacks, and
Yeah, yeah.
you can tell, like Otley has a very specific way of doing it, just like say McGinnis does, and so forth. And he's kind of doing the Otley way, which is a lot of open space, not a super amount of detail, a lot of blocking. Now we're just getting to dork talk here, but you know
Yeah,
what I
yeah.
mean.
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
that's good though.
and it's funny because when you said that, I'm like, yeah, you're right. He does, like he just put out this Venom, and it looked very Joe Mad like. You're like, oh, okay, but then he puts out this Wolverine, it's totally different style. Then he put, you're like,
That one recent Wolverine looks just like Otley's. If you look at his
yeah, yeah,
fist and then the line art, I'm
yep,
like, oh my gosh, it's got a super Otley. But
uh
that
huh,
could just be him trying to, because he's not doing a lot of work anymore that I know of. So maybe he's just
yeah,
having a good
yeah,
time.
yeah. I mean, but his stuff though recently has been really good though. I mean,
Yeah.
He's been doing
He
a
did
lot of
this.
X-Men, so you know.
He did some weird stuff a while ago where he was just killing it with these kind of weird, um,
You talking
like
about
they
all the
were.
weird shapes he's doing?
He, yeah, he has some weird like style he was working, very abstract
Yeah, yeah,
almost. It
yeah.
was
Yeah, you're talking
nice.
about. Yep.
It was
Mm-hmm.
really nice. I
Well,
liked it.
yeah, I think he's the type of guy that I think similar to yourself. If you really wanted to, you could adapt someone else's style into your art, and it wouldn't necessarily be ripping anybody off, but you can tell, oh, it kind of has this guy's feel to it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And I think
yeah, yeah.
he could do the same thing, no problem. You know?
Well, if you look at my big and juicy thing that I've been talking about lately, it kind of
Yeah,
resembles that. That's where it comes from. Let me show you guys. Did you see the stuff I just did recently?
yeah. I saw. Yep.
Yeah, this guy came out nice. Look at that guy. He looks dope. He's so scary. My apple guy with the creepy worm. Creepy. My banana dude. Oh, oh, he's gonna bite your face. And I like this guy, the pumpkin pie.
Yeah, the
Love me
pumpkin's
some
cool.
pumpkin pie. And then I did this one for fun. It's gonna be another sticker I'm gonna do just to do like the angry pumpkin in black. Anyway, there you go. So
Well,
yeah,
there you
man.
go, fuck.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Hey man, I'm here in America. I appreciate it. So anyway, yeah,
And
man.
if
So what's up with you, brother? What you been up to? I haven't talked to you in a bit.
so, here's some news for everyone in the audience. So I went to a bookstore. Amazon has bookstores. I didn't know that. So I ran into an Amazon bookstore,
Okay.
and
I didn't
they
know
had
that.
this kids section right out front. And I was like, "Oh, this is cool, you know, kids books." 'Cause I've done a couple of these, and I'm like, I wonder who does all these books. So I always do that. I always flip to the back, and every book on the shelf was by the same company, Simon and Schuster.
Right?
So I snapped a picture, and I right away in the store emailed what Simon and Schuster. Like, oh, okay. I just basically simple question. You know, how can I be basically retained by you to be an artist for one of your books? You know, because they get, of course, manuscripts for kids' books, but they don't have artists.
Right?
And I figured they're gonna really hit me back up because they don't take non-solicited stuff. Blah 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 blah. But somebody calls me like 3 days later, and hi, I'm from Simon and Schuster. This is Amy. Blah blah blah. Hey, what are you working on? I said, oh, a kids' book. Are you just drawing it? No, I'm doing the whole thing. Color, art, write it, everything. Oh, that sounds fantastic. Can we take a look at it? And I was like, can you give me, book will be done in November. Like, give me a couple of weeks. I'll show you some stuff. Okay, really want to see it. I'll call you back. She does call back 3 days later again. And I didn't expect her to call back. She calls back. Hey, how's everything going along? How's the book coming along? You know, any chance we can take a look at anything you have so far? And I give her the same, same story, basically. I tell her the same thing. You know what? I'm actually working on some of it tonight. I'll get some to you as soon as I can. Book's done in November. And then she emails me, same thing, touching base. And the reason why I haven't shown her any of the book, I never drew any of this book because I was just feeling like see what they would say to me. You know what I mean? Like it
Yeah.
was just I sent that was a feeler, to just see if I can get hired as a contracted artist for kids books. Now they want to see like a whole book from me. They want a manuscript and they want this. And I'm like 2 pages in and I drew the cover and I started last night.
What?
Yeah.
What? That's
So now
great, man.
I have to knock out like 22 pages. And the thing is, even she said, oh, there's no guarantee we'll publish it. Because she goes, we get tons of kids books that you won't even believe what we get. We can't even publish. It's so bad. And I'm like, oh no, don't worry about it. This idea I have is amazing. You're gonna love it. So
So, so are you gonna do it?
yo, I no, so I drew the cover and 2 pages last night. Did color everything. And the thing is, why I do it is I just draw it as I go along. I'll do the dialogue as I go along.
Yeah.
Uh, but the book's called Gordon's Bedtime Adventures, and it's basically about a kid that he can't wait to go to bed because that's when he enters like his real world, like his adventure, where he can be anything he wants, a superhero, blah blah blah. And the whole concept is that he's so excited to go to bed, to go to sleep, to join his adventures that other kids will want to read this book at bedtime and they'll also want to go to bed early or go to bed right away because they want to be just like Gordon. They want to join those adventures.
That's awesome.
So Gordon's
Congratulations,
first,
man. That's
yeah. So
fantastic.
Gordon's first adventure is he's a superhero. He always has a sidekick. He's a T-Rex named Pete, and Pete's the same size as him, so he's small. And the first mission is they got to stop a bad guy that wants to turn all ice cream into tomato flavor with raisins.
Oh,
And exactly, disgusting. So they would have to stop this guy from doing that. That's his first adventure to save the world's ice cream. So that'll
that's
be the first
great.
adventure. Yeah.
I'm so
So
happy for you, man. That's fantastic.
it just was very awkward getting those phone calls, And
Oh
because
man.
about 3, 4 years ago, I may have told you this already. Um, I pitched a cartoon to Nickelodeon. I went down to Nickelodeon.
No, I didn't
I
know
sent
that.
in my Yeah, I sent in my pitch Bible. I wrote the first 7 episodes, full scripts. Every script was 30 pages because they always say a page equals a minute. And I had everything. Like I did a storyboard, animated storyboard of like 3 minutes. It was a pain in the ass to draw every day. And I went down there to talk to them. And because the guy that created Rugrats helped me out, I ran into him at my old job, and he told me who to talk to and this and that. Um, and after having the conversation with them at Nickelodeon, they touched base with me about 2 or 3 times, and then they're like, "Oh, we're gonna pass," because the main reason was everybody else that's pitching cartoons to us already has their cartoon into production. So basically, they can just pick it up. They don't have to animate it.
Oh, that's weird. Really?
Yeah, and they're like, and they told me straight up, like that's kind of the upside to most, you know, companies or people that approach us is if they've already produced 3 or 4 cartoons that we can air, we'll air those 3 or 4 cartoons as a test run, and if people seem to like it, then we'll pick up the whole season. And because you don't necessarily have that,
Oh,
they're like, that's kind of your, downside right there. So the cartoon
whoa.
entitled Anthony about ant, he's an ant named Tony. And basically the show was written, just imagine if Seinfeld was with ants. That's how the show was written. Everything was ironic. Everything was like real stupid. Like Anthony's best friend always carried a briefcase because he thought if he carried a briefcase and wore a tie all the time, he's more professional. You know, he considered himself to be a lawyer, even though he was just a high school kid. Like it's just goofy stuff. His other
Yeah.
friend was a snail that that he had like a Napoleon complex. Thought he was really fast and this and that. And, just shit like that. And yeah, and like I said, they dug it, but they're just like, you don't have anything behind it, no money behind it, no none of this, none of that, and they don't really look to put money in behind projects unless they're fully committed.
It's funny how you always assume that you're just gonna go up to something like that and get it. Hey man, I got this great idea, but I'm surprised more and more how often I hear that finished ideas is what people want, which is and that's so antithetical. You have to be in the industry almost doing it on your own before you can get
Yeah,
it done.
yeah, you're right. And I mean, good example is when Netflix picks up shows, they flip the whole entire bill because once you get paid for that show, there's no money off of reruns. Like that's it. Like if there's no, third season of Iron Fist, those are out of cast workers, because that show got canceled.
Right, right.
So
Well,
when you go take your
they'll all
show,
go to Marvel, the other Marvel shows.
oh yeah, but when you take a show to ABC, they pay for 60% of the production costs, and the production company has to cover 40% of it, and that's because there's always going to be money afterwards if it's picked up in syndication, or reruns and everything else. So same as a cartoon, they're like, hey, how many have you made already? Oh, we haven't made any yet. Oh, well, we don't feel like putting money into it. You know, come back when you have something. So
Mm,
it's really no
mm.
different. And that's why SpongeBob, you know, they produce it in house in Burbank. They make that show there. Um, it's
Well, they commit
it's
to it
how
because it's already
yeah,
a
they
cast out for
committed to
them.
it. Yeah, exactly, and that's just what it is. I mean, so I've done two pitch Bibles. They both heard them out, and they both said you need more. So that's pretty much it. So now I'll go the kids book route. Try to see if I can create like a trilogy of kids books that gets picked up into an animated series. So,
Oof. So good. So good. Congrats, man. That's fantastic news. Man,
Yeah,
I
it's
just I
just,
was gonna hear I'm doing good. I'm living life. I'm like, oh, I'm impressed.
well, dude, kids books kick your ass, man. They really do. Because you're doing it all by yourself, and I mean, you can make it silly. Doesn't mean it's gonna work. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I have a
So
few of my own ideas for that, but I'm not there yet. I got to get this
yeah,
stuff done.
yeah, yeah. Well, you have like 30 things you want to work on at once.
Well, no, main thing is pay the bills. That's job one.
Yeah, of course. That's why, just like me, you can't work on 30 things at once. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? I want to do
yeah,
this. That's not gonna do anything for me right now. I want to do this. Shit, that's not gonna do anything for me right now.
yeah, 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 yeah. That happens, but
Well,
it's
you
part of the
know,
grind, man.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Exactly, exactly. So, it's just what it is. But I think your comic book idea is good. I think you just need to start focusing on it. Really crank that shit out.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's the idea. I have another project I'm kind of in development with someone else, and but
Oh,
I'm
I think you told me about that one too. Yeah.
yeah, I think so. And then, but the where we're at right now is probably going to take a little longer than I can afford to wait. So I need to produce something to help me get some things out there, and then
I
also,
mean, yeah, dude. Honestly, you gotta do like everybody else. Just make a cover for the book. That's not a final cover. It's just a mock-up cover. Explain it to people what it is, like plot-wise or whatever background, and then put it on uh, Indiegogo and raise capital for it. You know,
and then they'll pay
it's
me.
like any other project.
That's what I was saying to everybody. What someone was asking earlier, like people say, "Well, what are you working on?" Well, I can't work on anything until I get all this other stuff done. So what I'm trying to do
Yeah,
here
exactly. Yeah,
is hopefully
exactly.
get something like this launched, get it funded so I can spend the time on work on it. Because that's the trick.
Yeah, exactly.
It's always easy. Like it's like when you're dealing with someone who's not an artist, they'll say, "Hey man, you're an artist. Can you do a portrait of me?" Like, no. Are you paying me? Well, no, I just thought you liked to do it. No, I don't like drawing portraits of strangers, but you know, but if you want to pay me, I'll be happy to do it. And I think sometimes people think that, if they don't realize that we have to eat too. So the funding element of the Indiegogo campaigns is such a blessing because it puts you in a position where the people trust you enough to want to produce the project with you. Basically, they become like the board members. I've heard someone say that recently. I was like, that's a good way to look at it. They're like board members, and I mean, I'm still creating the product,
Yeah,
but they have they're investors in the project. So that's an exciting experience too, because now, you're not worried about, oh, did you? Yes, this is cool, but did you draw Batman? Like, no, no, I don't draw Batman. Ah, well, that's too bad. See you next time. I'm like, all right, jerks.
yeah,
Hey,
yeah,
Denal, how you doing,
exactly.
man? This is my boy Lafayette. People wondering who you are.
But that's why you have to. What I mean? That's why I think you should just do some mock-ups for it, get some nice color,
Yeah, yeah,
and just blast it out there right now and just try to raise money for it. Because once you hit your primary goal, however much you're setting for, that's basically paying for you to draw the book. You know what I'm saying? So,
right, right, exactly.
it's like Ethan, right? Ethan is sitting on a gold mine and he's drawing the book at his pace and he's doing his thing.
Yeah,
But he knows already. I've been paid for this book. Like I'm good. Like I
right.
can, I can take
But
my time on this.
and do a good job. That was one of the things that I was always concerned about was when I was doing stuff for DC, and I used to wonder how come they didn't call me back. Well, I was doing stuff to help them to bail them out of a time problem. So of
Yeah,
course I'm not doing my best work. I'm doing
a rush
until
job.
a rush job. Yeah, yeah. So it bailed them out, and I was dependable enough to get the work done, but at what cost? So now the idea here is to let's see if I can't get something like this going, and I don't know. I
Yeah,
don't know if it'll
sure.
even if it'll even do well as a campaign, but it's better than not doing anything. And I
Yeah,
think
but I
that the
think
work
you have a strong community behind you with the guys that you've already connected with, and I think just that alone will help you get that off the ground.
yeah,
You know,
I hope so.
you know. So I mean, those guys. I mean, they all got some type of project going on. They've all been funded. I haven't seen anyone in that particular group not get funded. So I mean, they're all doing fairly well. Yeah, I just like I said, man, you need to get off the ground. We got a message though. Curious said he got his black and red today. It looks awesome. Thank you for the speedy delivery.
Woo! Thank you, Curious. I appreciate that, man.
Yep.
Denal says do a striptease, and that's not even cool, man. That's not even cool, Denal.
Yeah.
You don't want to see me naked. Trust me, Mr.
Yeah.
McGee. You wouldn't like me naked.
Let's see. And this Denal just said. He just said draw Spider-Man. Just go back
No.
to numerous videos. He'll be there somewhere.
Yeah, right. I've done
Yeah,
that
that's right.
too much.
That's right. Have you drawn? No one asked you something. Have you ever drawn Batman?
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, that here's it. This is the two characters that you've probably drawn the most. Is that one? If
Yeah,
someone goes, "Hey, man, you ever draw Wolverine?"
yeah.
Yeah,
But you know what's
those are
crazy though
probably
is that they'll say that, and then I'll tell them, yeah, I could draw them. Oh, this looks great. What issues have you done? Oh, I haven't. Oh, and all of a sudden,
yeah. Your
yeah,
stock just drops so bad. They want to
yeah,
sell all their stock right away. You know,
yeah. But,
it's so true.
that's what we're
People do
dealing
it.
with.
Yeah, at the cons all the time. Oh, that's a really cool Daredevil. Hey, so what do you draw for Marvel? Like, unless you know something I don't. I haven't drawn anything for them. I just steal their products and draw them for you. I mean, do I have to work
Brilliant.
for Marvel? Like, does it validate me more? Yeah, I work for. You can tell people at cons anything though, right? You can be like, yeah, I've drawn like 7 issues of Daredevil, but they only came out in Braille, so you know. You know, like, you know what I mean? Though, like people love the validation of like you telling them, like, okay, I have like maybe 5 to 6 prints, primarily DC, that I've actually had the guy that colors JLA do my coloring for,
Yeah.
and because he was doing this thing where he's like, I'll color anybody's pinups for like $65. Like, damn, this guy, colors Justice League. What the hell? Okay. So I gave him a bunch and he did them. And every time I mention that at a convention, it's like sold right away because some reason that print has more validation than the rest, But yet they don't necessarily know he's colored that. It's just me telling them that. You know what I mean?
I'm gonna try that.
So
I'm gonna try that.
yeah, it's just they love the validation. Oh, that's a cool Goku. Did you draw that or did like an Asian guy do it? I'm like, wait, what does that even mean? What are you talking about? Well, have more validation if an Asian guy drew the Asian character. Like, what the what?
What?
Oh, I had Chinese food last night.
Done.
Sold. Man, you're good. Like, oh, thanks. Yeah, I'll only buy Spawn if you're a Satanist. Well, praise be the fucking devil, I guess. Is that a sale? like, why is there so much? Do you need a certificate? Like,
oh, that's hilarious.
It's the questions you get at conventions, like, oh, that's a cool Hulk. So, did you work on the show or something? You're like, what?
Yeah,
dude, 80% of people here drawing never works for any of these companies. What are you talking about? Like, if I only sold what I drew out of my brain, you would hate me.
Well, what are you gonna do? This churns. They don't even know.
Yeah, it's so.
At the end of the day, and I get it. I'm from the culture. There is something special when you meet such and such artist from such and such book, and hey, man, this is so cool, man. You're the actual guy. Cool. Yeah, but on the other hand, it's insulting because those guys just got picked up. Everything else is. DJ Kong says talent is talent. Absolutely, man. I appreciate that. But sometimes people don't want to believe that. They get all weird. No way, man. Did you work on that? Because I don't believe it.
It's so true though. It's so weird though. It really is. Like the Spawn piece. I sell this one Spawn piece. I've shown you before. I've sold it I sell 20 every time I go to a show. And everybody always asks, "Did you draw Spawn?" I'm like, "Do you even buy comics?" Like, you're asked. It's clearly you don't follow Spawn. Yes, I've drawn many of issues. I drew the first 5 actually. Like what? Like you didn't know anything about what you're talking about? Like
that's great.
It's like it doesn't make it's so goofy. I love it though because I'll laugh and tell them no and just give them a quick background. I love the character. It's fun to draw, and then they'll tell me to go to hell. And I'm like, I'm not Al Simmons. I don't know what you're talking about. And then they still won't get it.
I think I told you this story that one time I met this dude that said, "Yeah, man, because I had this print. It actually wasn't even it was my art, but I didn't do the print. I did this artwork for a buddy of mine, and he took the art, which I thought was always funny. He took my art and they started selling it as a print. I said, bro, you okay, whatever. That was his hustle for the moment, right? Anyway,
Yeah.
so he did that, and so he's doing his thing, and things are rolling along, and people keep going, hey man, this print is great. It was a Hulk versus the Fantastic Four. This has to be like 15 years ago, 16 years ago.
Yeah.
Maybe longer. I said, oh, thanks, man. I appreciate that. Oh, man, this is beautiful. Because you know what it was? It was part of a sample set that I had done.
Oh, okay.
So I'm like, I said, oh, thanks. So this guy comes up and goes, hey, man, can you sign this for me? I said, yeah, sure. He goes, hey, man, which issue is this from? I said, well, actually, it's not. He goes, no, man. No, you did this. I know you did because I remember your name. Like, no, man, I didn't do it. No, come on, man. Come on, man. He started fighting with me, arguing because
like he knows. Like, yeah. He's gonna force you into a job with Marvel all of a sudden.
I wasn't as clever as you are to come up with that solution back then, but that would have been hilarious.
But it's dude, yeah, you just say stuff. People like one thing. I have this Avengers drawing, and it looks totally animated, like animated cartoon, and it's supposed to. And people always ask, "Did you work on a show?" Or there was something to that effect, and I always just go, "Oh yeah, I did like backgrounds for it. You know, nothing too much. You know, some characters, and they don't know. Or what do they know? They just, drove 50 miles to come to a convention because their kid won't shut up about Pokemon cards. You know, you know what I mean? You're like, that's such a cool Black Lightning. Oh, you're the first. Cool. Did you draw it? No, of course not. No,
yeah,
I just
photocopied. I get that all the time.
Interweb.
Hey, are these yours? Yeah, man.
Yeah,
they're mine.
Yeah, those are the best. Well, because there are, I was at a booth one time, beside a guy that had hundreds of hundreds of pinups, everywhere. Like his booth was just littered. He had a little window he stuck his head out of to sell them. And
Wow.
people would ask him over and over, hey, did you draw these? No. I just sell them for like 5 guys that draw them in like the Philippines. I'm just like an art broker type, whatever.
Yeah.
Basically, he just pays guys to draw what he wants, to make money at cons. He's that guy. He just gets guys to draw original art for him, and he just prints them and makes copies. And there's nothing wrong with that. I just think to myself, you can clearly tell he's not looking to draw you anything, and he does not draw this stuff. It looks all different. This guy, no joke, this guy was like 400 pounds. He did not want to get out of his chair. He was so upset every time someone said, "Can I see that top one?" And he was just like, "Mother."
But you know what, man? I'm glad you said that because I guess that makes sense. If there have been people that have gone out there and taken other people's work and then claim them to be theirs, and they're like out there, yeah, man, this is my thing, and all they did was take it and run a filter on it. So I guess there is I shouldn't be so hard on some of those folks because there are some examples of people. But then again, if you stole it though, would you be inclined to admit that you stole it? You know what I'm saying?
Man, I've seen that stuff though. I've seen people that they're good at, say, doing digital color painting style or any color, and they're just copying overlaying someone else's art with their version of the color, selling it. And I'm like, dude, that's so and so. Like, what? That's so and so's art, and he's not even saying it. He's just going off like they don't know.
Yeah,
and they don't. That's the thing. They don't know. You know what I mean? The audience at conventions does not know. They just see something cool, and I'll take it.
I've had people do that with my work, and then they're like, "Hey, man, but this guy's great, but he didn't do anything." What? Yeah, that was me. What? Oh man.
Yeah.
And they start weaseling out of the way. Well, I mean, I just thought it was pretty cool. It's okay, man. You didn't know it wasn't mine. No, I'm just saying. So what did you work on?
Yeah. All of a sudden, now they're your buddy.
Yeah.
I just ripped you off, but hey, we can be friends.
Let's see.
Somebody asked, where can they buy your merchandise? Tell them your website.
Well, if you guys would like to go to bigbridgedesigns.com, www.bigbridgedesigns.com. It's a bridge and it's large, a big bridge. Anyway, go there and you can see what we have going right now. some of the stuff that I'm working on right now will eventually make it to that kind of merchandise. But for right now, that's going to be we're going to be doing our own campaign, and I'm going to also be producing my own merch through my merch business, merch company.
There you go. I kind of died
Really
off at the
excited.
end. You're hiding it. Yeah.
My merch company. What? I died off. I died off.
Yeah, you were like, everybody go there and get the and then merchandise.
You know what it is, man. I'm the worst salesman. I'm always like, guys, you guys want to hang out, right?
Yeah. You're
Gee,
the
come to
you're,
the party.
you're the aw shucks guy. Yeah.
Shucks.
You know,
Gee
you're the guy
whiz.
that people go, this is great art. Oh shucks, I appreciate that. Oh man, golly, thanks for coming by. And you're like, sell them something. Nah, I like compliments. That's what I put in my pocket. Compliments. You
That's
know,
why. That's why I'm going to hire you to sell my stuff. There you go.
like
How about that?
I'm gonna go to your booth one day and be like, I really like everything. It's fantastic. That's lovely. That's nice. Oh, I really like that. I've already given you 3 compliments. Which one can I pick? And they're like, excuse me? I pay with compliments. It seems like that's all he wants. You know,
Oh, that's funny. I just
like
saw
that's it.
a comment. I see you, Critias. I'm sorry, man. Listen, man, it's been crazy. You know what? No excuses. No more excuses. Donald, you're right. Apparently, Ellie came up with his website name when he was driving along the Howard Franklin stump for name. No, it's true. Actually, that's a bridge me and my business partner always go through, and it just had some other significant meaning for us. So it was cool. So you can make fun of it if you like. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. Yes, I do. No, I don't. No, I don't. Anyway,
He
hey man, I
cares.
saw Halloween last night. Did you see Halloween yet?
No, I want to. So I guess okay, 1 through 4 stars or 5. What do you give it?
So me personally, I'm gonna give it out of 5 stars. I'm gonna give it a 4. I'm gonna give
Okay.
it a 4. Yeah, I liked it a lot. I liked it a lot. I think I can. I've been listening to people do the reviews. It's a very fun movie. A lot of people that are crying about it, I think they're just babies. But I also, like I was telling someone else earlier today, I don't like just beating up movies just to beat them up. I prefer your question. On a scale of 1 to 10, what's your grade? Because my what I think is garbage might be somebody else like, oh, that was awesome. Like I really liked Venom a lot, a lot. But that's not the
Yeah,
that's not the common consensus though.
yeah. But see, I tell people all the time, I say, look, the movie's not necessarily good. It's fun. It's entertaining. Venom.
Right, right.
You know,
Do you remember
it's
when?
not.
Do you remember when we thought Arnold Schwarzenegger movies were good and everybody just had a good time because that's what made it good was that it was a fun movie. Now it's like
Yeah,
no, but
exactly.
it's not Shakespeare. Like, well, yeah, so
Yeah. Like if you watch Commando nowadays, you're just like, oh, this is horrible.
yeah, it
But if
is.
you when we were watching in '88, we were like, this is so awesome. Look at him. He's in a parking lot kidnapping and doing this and oh, Mr. Tomei. Oh, okay, yeah. Well, no, was it? Wait, no, it was Miss. It was what's her name? No, it was from Who's the Boss? Uh,
Oh yeah, 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 yeah. That was
I forgot her name. She was in
oh man.
Charmed. Alyssa Milano.
Alyssa
There
Milano.
you go.
Oh,
Alyssa
how could I
Milano.
forget?
You know,
How
yeah,
could I
yeah. But
forget?
you know, like we thought all his movies were cool. I mean, I'll be honest. I mean, his best movie is True Lies. You know, for
True
sure.
Lies was great. You know what? No, no, no. You know what his best movie was? It was
I won't even
actually
say.
is
What is
Predator.
it?
Predator.
Oh, okay. I thought you were gonna say Jingle All the Way.
I
Yeah.
like Jingle All the Way too.
No,
Now
no. I like
I'm a
that
Christmas
movie,
movie.
but it's it's funny.
It's
It's so
ridiculous. It is
yeah,
ridiculous.
it's so
But
stupid.
but so are all those Christmas
Well,
music
yeah, there's
movies.
not really too many great Christmas movies, you know. But let's not get into Christmas movies. Let's get into Halloween. So break it down. Give me a
No,
quick
no, no.
one
You open the
minute.
floodgate. You open the floodgate. Now I'm gonna go
Okay.
in full speed.
Give me a quick 1 minute review. Go.
So definitely. So this is definitely the sequel to the original. So this one basically boxes out all the other movies besides the first one. This one I think did a great job. I loved Jamie Lee Curtis in this movie. I thought she was fantastic, and she did a great job. I think there was a point in the movie though. The reason why it doesn't get a better score from me is there's a part in the movie. I won't give it away, no spoilers. But there's a part, and I heard someone say it too. It's in the third act. They didn't say what it was either, and I know exactly what they're talking about. That left me like, what? And I thought, all right, I'll buy that for $1 and I keep moving, you know. But overall, man, it was a fun little movie. I was thoroughly scared. I heard someone say that there wasn't a lot of atmosphere. I could see that, but I don't. I've come to not expect very much from these type of movies, so I don't mind that as much. Um, I thought that there were probably too many characters in the story, but and some people bite the dust, like they're there just to bite the dust, which is funny.
Okay.
It was just funny, but and they get a prominent place in the story in the beginning of certain scenes or moments or parts of the chapters of each chapter or whatever. But whatever, you know, it's a slasher movie, so I don't know why that's any different from any other slasher movie. So it's a better. I've always loved Michael Myers. He's always my favorite of the slashers. I've never really been a big fan of Jason or Freddy, but Mike was always my guy. I just thought I always liked the idea, and I'm also a fan. I actually like the first Rob Zombie Halloween a lot, and I kind of like the second one. I don't know if you like those or not, but I thought that interpretation of Michael Myers was ultra visceral, and that he was like a Hulk, and that was cool to me. But this one, you know, it's really good. I thought it was really good. There's some great humor in it. Towards the middle of the film, I thought was helpful. Now I'll tell you what, and I said this earlier, so people are mistaking me because my Spanish is terrible. There's another movie in the trailers that I thought was fantastic, but and I think I was more scared of that movie, that trailer, than I was the whole movie of Halloween. It's called La Llorona. I was saying Llorona this morning because I'm stupid, but Llorona is I guess, a Mexican myth about this crying mother or crying nun or something like that. Have you heard of it?
Saw the preview yesterday.
What'd you think?
It was. I mean, it doesn't really give anything away.
No.
But it was
It was a long
like
trailer though.
well, because most of it was a kid running jumping around from front seat to back seat of a car, closing windows, locking doors, closing windows, locking doors.
I thought it
Um,
was good.
no, it was good because it built it up. I just, we have to wait and see because I don't. I mean, you're right. It's like an urban legend in Mexican lore, whatever this character is. So I don't know much of the character. And of course, it's produced by James Wan Wayne that does like all the good
Is it?
horror movies these days.
Yeah. Did he direct it?
No, he just produced it because at this time he was filming Aquaman.
Oh, okay, okay. Well, you're right. He did direct The Conjuring, right?
Yeah, he did part one and two. But he's done all those. He's produced and had a hand in all those Conjuring movies. Annabelle Returns, or Beginning, whatever that is.
I haven't seen that yet. Is that any good?
Yeah. Oh, if you see the second Annabelle movie, which is actually the origin of the Annabelle doll, it's freaking good. Yeah.
Oh, see, I love supernatural ghosts and demon stuff. I love demonologists and concepts
You
like
know what?
that.
Then you're gonna love Netflix's new show, The Haunting of Hill House. It is
Yes, I
freaking.
saw it. I saw
Oh,
it.
you did see it?
Yes, that was
That
awesome.
that was a great show.
That was awesome. Yeah, man, I was lit up like a Christmas tree for that one.
Yeah, that one was so good. The way it was done, and you know how when you got past episode 4, then it showed everyone's individual story. Like it was so good.
Oh,
Yeah. Yep.
yeah, man.
So I like those. I
Yeah,
love those type. Like you said, I love give me horror movies any day of the week that are based on like Catholicism, and I'll watch it. You
yeah,
know.
yeah, yeah. What did you think about that one about that's based on that the guy who was hanging out with that priest that was the exorcist for the Vatican? It was with Eric Bana and had Olivia Munn. What's that
Oh
one
yeah, it
called?
was okay. That one was
I
okay. That
love
one was called. Um. Oh man. Uh.
the something the I don't remember.
I think that one's called like the evil. No, something evil. I know evil's in the title.
The Evil
Evil with.
Within.
Yeah, I think that's what it's called. But it was okay. It was okay. It
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
was okay.
yeah, yeah. No, I liked it. I liked it a lot. I like Olivia Munn. She's purdy.
Yeah, she was in Predators. Yeah, or
She
Predator, whatever they call
was.
it.
I want to see
Yeah,
that. Is that no good?
yeah. I'm just waiting on it. I didn't rush out to see it. You know.
Yeah, I mean, I heard terrible things, but again, man, I'm a genre guy, so I like watching stuff that I don't know. I like seeing different things. I don't like I liked did you I really enjoyed it. Lights Out. Not Lights Out. Yeah, Lights Out. That's the one with the girl kept turning the picture off and or the light
I
I'm
did
sorry, the
see
light
that
switch
one.
off.
I did. I did. That one was good. Yeah.
The short was really good that's based on. I was
Yeah, the
impressed
show
with
was
that.
actually scarier than the movie. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I know that the guys who made that did some other ones that some other shorts that were excellent as well. Yeah, I'm all
Yeah.
about that, man. There's a you guys have probably heard me talk about this. This is more of like a traditional style. I don't want to draw everything like that. Although that's not bad. Which do you prefer, the one on the left or one on the right?
Let me see. Let me see. Let me see. Let me see. Um, the one on the left.
Yeah, me too. Me too. This one's too. This is too DC Comics on the right. I like the
Yeah,
those
on the
colors.
right, he has. Yeah, yeah. Doesn't.
Yeah, yeah, I'm with you there. I'm
I
with
told
you
you
there.
before. I dig your more like simple style. You
Yeah.
know.
Well, I want to do. I want to. This is. I used to draw a lot like the one on the left all the time. I had a. It was what's part of what they were calling the jerkmonger style for a while.
Yeah.
Good friends of mine would call it that. So yeah.
Yep.
So
Yep.
I know
So
some
yeah, the
people.
only movie that I've seen recently was not a horror movie, was not an action movie, was not a comedy. I saw A Star Is Born.
Oh, what you think about that?
It's good. It's very like emotional movie, like very what's that, gut wrenching, I guess you could say.
Yeah, yeah. It's a drama.
It's a romantic drama. Um, because basically the main character, who's Bradley Cooper, is an alcoholic. He doesn't know how to cope without alcohol. He's codependent on it. He goes through all the
Yeah.
stages of an alcoholic while he's like lifting up Lady Gaga's character to be a star.
Oh
So
wow.
if you saw the one from the '70s with Barbara Streisand and Christopher Christopherson, it's very much like that one.
Okay. So
Because this movie's been made 4 times.
I don't like dramas. I don't like watching dramas, but I appreciate them. And I always like them after I've seen them. Like, oh, that was a good movie, but I don't like seeing them. The only ones I've enjoyed recently was uh was some of the Will Smith ones, like The Pursuit of Happiness. And the main reason why I loved it was because it's about being a strong entrepreneurial spirit, and how you overcome that stuff. That's important to me. I
Well,
don't.
those type of dramas that don't involve like a romance, yeah, those are always like more like the uplifting type of thing. Those are always
Yeah,
pretty good.
yeah, I'll watch those. They're like Christmas movies. I watch those every time.
Yeah,
But
yeah, exactly. I mean, the best Christmas movie of all time,
uh,
probably, probably the one with Nicolas Cage.
oh, really? You like that one, huh? That's
That was good.
oh, what was that called? I
That
forgot that one. Yeah,
they
that's a
show
good
it.
one. But
They
it's too
show it
sad.
all the time. It's
It's
too
too sad.
well. Yeah, yes and no.
Yeah,
It's
there's hope at the end, but it's not the same.
there's no hope at the end. They're not getting together.
Yes,
Um,
there is hope at the end.
no,
He
they're
walks
not. Don't
away.
think they're gonna get together. No, Nick Cage goes on a whole different path in life.
Oh, you
Okay.
just it's ruined me again. Damn it.
Yeah, I know. I
All
know.
right, okay.
Don.
My favorite Christmas movie of all time, because I see Geek Out Loud making fun of me. He likes to feel good dramas. My favorite Christmas movie of all time, Die Hard one.
Not a Christmas movie because Bruce Willis said it.
Well, who?
You know, Bruce Willis. He came out and said it like a couple months ago.
I don't care what
Oh,
Bruce Willis.
he
Bruce
did
Willis
it during
is.
his Comedy Central roast. He said, "For the last time, it's not a Christmas movie," and I
He's
get
an
it.
idiot.
I
He's
get
an
it because
idiot.
when you watch that movie, you don't think Christmas. So that's why I don't think it's a
Yeah, I
Christmas
do.
movie.
I do.
No, no. When you
Absolutely.
went in to watch Die Hard the first time, you didn't think I'm watching a Christmas movie. So that's what
No,
I'm
that's it
saying.
was special. It was special that way. That's how I like it. That's why I like it so much.
That that movie was delivered by Jesus himself.
I didn't say I didn't say it was a religious Christmas movie. I just
Well, I mean, Christmas really does kind of belong to one particular religion in a sense, you know.
in my Christmas in what do they call those things? The in the Nativity, I took
And then they
Joseph
do
out and
it.
put in Bruce Willis.
That would be smart. That would change the whole game. And take Mary out, put Selma Hayek. You want to spice things up.
Uh, that's awesome. That's
But
awesome.
I
No,
don't know,
man.
I don't know. Christmas movies are hard, right? Because you'll watch one and go, that was pretty good. Like the first Santa Claus was entertaining, and then they kind of just went off with it. You're like, oh, whatever.
Dude, do you
You
see the
know,
trailer for the March of the Wooden Soldiers thing that Disney's
I
doing?
did. Yep,
Oof, that looks great too.
that one looks
That's gonna
good.
be.
They have Christmas movie. What they remade The Grinch as an animated movie that's coming out.
Yeah, that looks interesting too. Kigala says maybe if there was snow, Die Hard could be a Christmas. No, that's not true because it's in California. You tell me Christmas doesn't exist in California, and by the way, in Florida, there's no snow either. So you keep that to yourself,
Yeah,
Mister.
it was L.A. Yeah, so there was no snow in the what is it, Takayama Towers or Yokohama or whatever it was.
Uh,
Yeah,
oh gosh, you got me wondering.
it's not a
So,
Christmas movie. It's not a
Ya
Christmas movie.
Yakas, no, I don't know. Look, it even has the guy from Full House,
He's
not
not from
Full
Full
House,
House.
from
Try
Urkel,
again.
whatever.
From Urkel.
Days go
Family Matters.
by. What is that? Family Matters. That's it. So, I mean, they're the same show. They're all the same show.
They are the same character. You know that, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
not,
Okay.
not the
They
same
have,
character.
oh
But
yeah,
he's
they have
always
the same.
he's got the same name. He's not
Yeah,
Detective
both have
Winslow.
the same. They have the same name, and they're both cops.
Did I have the same
So
name?
I think they have the same name. Yeah.
Oh, that'd be interesting if it was.
Yeah. That's why they end up moving to Chicago because he's traumatized by the events of Christmas. So you didn't know that. See. Oh. Hey, wasn't part two also during Christmas? It was snowing and
Yes.
uh
See?
yeah, that movie totally sucked.
Shut up.
Part
Shut
three
up.
was so good. Part four was decent. Part five they can just burn it and never bring it up.
Which is part five.
The one with his son and his son's a double agent or some
Oh yeah, yeah.
bullshit.
No, I liked Live Free or Die Hard. That was a good one.
That was a good one. Yeah. Well, we've already had
That
this
was good.
conversation. Let's pass on.
Yeah, yeah, we did. Let's move on. Okay, how about okay, more horror movies. What's your top five horror scary movies? Don't
That's
have a top
hard.
five. What's your top one? Start with that.
It's hard. Hmm.
Do you have any like that?
It's just hard because horror movies are such in different genres of themselves.
True. That's
That's the
true.
hard
That's true.
part. You got the zombie movie. You're like, oh, that was creepy. That was good. And then you got, like
Okay,
I said, the religious.
do you have a favorite genre? Well, I think you said the religious ones.
I mean, the religious ones because the way it ties in, like you said, there's always some kind of demon thing, and they always got to bring in somebody religious to save the day, and typically they don't. You know,
John Piner
I don't know.
says Poltergeist.
Pro- eh, eh,
I like Poltergeist. The original Poltergeist is great. One of my favorites.
not, but not my top five. Good movie, but not my top. I would say
Wow.
it's crazy. I mean, I would even put The Conjuring in the top five. That was a good one
I,
when I saw it.
yeah, I would too.
Um,
That's one of my favorites. How about
the
Insidious?
Insidious. I like the second one a lot. Um, but what was that?
Oh, that's the first one too.
Exorcist was scary when I first saw it. Now
That's
not
not
so
my
much.
favorite though.
No, well, that's just it. I mean, like, a favorite. I mean, if you had to recommend, that's probably the best way to put it. You have to recommend a scary movie for somebody to watch.
Right, right.
What would what would be the one movie that after they watch it, you just mess with their head so much. They're
I
like,
think
then
I think
you know.
The Exorcist still has that power over
Oh, it
fresh meat.
does. Yeah, it does
If
for
you've
sure.
never seen it, it still has that power. I still won't see the whole thing. Piner says The Shining. Oh, I love The Shining. Man, but I'm really disturbed by The Shining now.
The Shining is good, but again, if somebody was to watch for the first time, I don't know if it would give them that.
Well, see, I think you would. I think you can get that because Shining is well, first of all, there's interpretations of it now that I'm like, wow, I never thought of it that way. So for me, uh, I can certainly agree that movie is a lot more disturbing. It's a very disturbing movie, and I didn't get it before. I didn't understand why it was scary. Now when I watch it, I'm so keyed into Jack Nicholson's performance. That guy is just psychotic, and I can see why they wanted him for Joker. Now there was some moments in there when just he never performed as much as I love his Joker performance on Batman '89. I
Oh yeah.
I still to this day think that he was holding back. Like they didn't quite direct him. Like if he had been doing what he did in Shining, that would have rocked my face right off the floor. That would have been amazing.
You know,
Um,
it's funny you bring up Batman. I was just thinking about that the other day, and I thought, in that movie, of course, he kills his parents. He's only like 12 years old, whatever, whatever. Then you meet Bruce Wayne, and he looks like he's 40. You know, Michael Keaton does not look young in that movie. How old is Joker supposed to be? You know, I just thought
yeah,
about that because I'm like, the Joker looked like he was in his mid 30s when he kills his parents. So that means the guy's pushing 65. You know, like how old is
yeah,
this guy? And
yeah.
I
He
thought about
definitely
that the other
was.
day, and I was like, this doesn't really make sense.
He definitely was that, but he was a great Joker because he carried that part so well, like the whole the crazy of the Joker. That's why he's my favorite Joker. I thought what's his name was good. What's his name? Ledger was good, but I don't. He wasn't a good Joker to me. He was just a good crazy guy. He was a good foil for Nolan's Batman. Hey, hon.
Um,
It came and went. Okay. Uh, everybody say hi to my wife. Tell everybody say happy birthday to my wife.
Happy birthday, 21 years old.
That's
Good
what I
time to
told
be
her.
young.
I told her she was 27. You got me beat. She
Oh,
felt
made it
like
worse. Went to
anyway.
21.
Okay. I mean, how about this? How about this? What about what do you think about um for me? Let me see. What else are some good ones? Well, TV shows. What did you think about Penny Dreadful?
Oh, I enjoyed that show a lot. Yeah,
Yeah, I was a little weird
yeah, I
about
enjoyed that show.
all the sexy time all the time. It was like, golly, man.
Yeah, you know, it's just, you know, I mean, they didn't really need it, but whatever. You know what I mean?
But it wasn't crazy though. It wasn't like there was the time of decadence for sure. But to your point, I don't think it was that necessary. That said, though, I really I thought it was excellent. I was sad to see that end too because it did not end the way it ought to have.
No, the Showtime just didn't want to pick it up, so they kind of, it seemed like they just rushed it, you know? And
Yeah,
the bad part was Netflix went and picked it up. Why didn't they just pitch it to Netflix to finish another season of it? You know?
right.
But you know, good show. I enjoyed it. There's not
What about
there's not too many like that.
what are some other ones? What about Critias says he looks scary or bald. Yeah, he does look scary, right? I think I like the bald one version too, but I gotta see because I have another bald character so far in the story. Trying to think. I thought the Woman in Black was pretty good. I
It
thought
was
that
okay. Part one or
is it
two.
part one.
Okay.
What did you think? What was your favorite
It
episode?
was okay. I think
No, really?
sometimes when you do like jump scare movies, it doesn't I feel like it's kind of repetitive from the prior whatever was prior. It's like there's a bunch of horror movies coming out. You got the one you named earlier, La Latrana, whatever.
La
Kind of
Llorona.
just came
Llorona.
off a little bit like a jump scare movie. Okay, it's cool. You know, then another demon, um, and then Pet Cemetery preview looked kind of cool.
Oh, it did look cool. It was like a weird mix of Pet Cemetery meets uh what was it that the Flies, the Lord of the Flies. It had that kind of
Yeah,
vibe to it.
yeah, that one looked cool. But then there's like another exorcism movie coming out also that preview looked really cool. But you kind of get the same feel though. Like, okay, we know this girl's it's always a girl that gets possessed, and we know she's almost about to die, but then somebody says the right words out of the Bible, and boom, she's back. You know, or they
Yeah,
found the lost scripture, in Egypt, and oh, this is what we need, the lost scripture of Luke, and all it says is today Jesus didn't show up, and I just went to the restroom. You know, like like that's it. So
well, you crazy. What about let's see. What about I'm trying to think of because I was trying to watch some stuff last night after I watched Halloween. I wanted more and I wasn't getting as much. As I hope that's the only thing too is I wasn't as scared of Halloween, but it was a good balance for me because I don't like being scared either. But I don't like a lot of gore, but that one has some intense gore. I thought.
Yeah,
Let
you
me
know what?
see.
That's another thing too. Like, to me, scary movies are more effective when there isn't the violence. You know what I mean?
I agree.
So, that's why
What
the
about?
Conjuring works and Conjuring 2 works and the Nun worked and so forth. It's just not a lot of violence. It's more creepiness. You know,
I haven't seen The Nun. It looked good though.
it's good.
I would.
It's not great. It's good.
Oh, gee, you're hard on these movies. What about what's so? Come on, give me some more. What else you got?
I mean, like I said, if I had to recommend one movie to somebody and I know at the end they're gonna be creeped out by it, I mean, I'll be honest. The first time I saw the Blair Witch Project, I was like,
Ah,
"What's that sound? What? It's dark.
yeah,
Turn the light on. What's going on here?" You know,
yeah.
how do we
Yeah.
end up in the same place? You know, and they're like, "We're on a track, dude. Remember?" Like, "Oh shit, I forgot we're going circles." Yeah,
No, you're right. I forgot about that one. I like that, and I like the Paranormal Activity movies. At least the first couple.
dude. The
Um,
first one was good, but the one where um he finds the camera, the wedding guy. Dude, that's I think it's number 3 or something like that. It's so good. The one where they basically run from the house and they end up on top of the stairs. It's like the original story.
oh no, I
Something
haven't
like
seen
that. I think it may be
that.
the third one, but it's so good. That one is so good. That one, I'll be honest, that one creeped me out too. I was like, oh, that's some scary. Like, imagine if you got home and everything was upside down in your kitchen on the ceiling. You're like, what the? You're like, damn, I need to buy a ladder just to eat dinner.
Yeah, that's the kind of stuff that gets my my juices flowing when it comes to scary stuff. I get my blood starts to like, oh my gosh, it's that kind of stuff. And see, I'm actually I also like watching those ghost adventures shows,
I did too.
and and I find those fascinating. And assuming that they're real enough, that they don't have to be real. It just needs to be real enough for me. Because there's
Well,
been some weird things that
well,
you know.
the ones that I like to watch are the ones that are reenactments of people's stories.
Yeah. What was that
Yeah,
one?
yes.
There was one on Sci-Fi Channel called
Yeah, that they
Paranormal
stopped.
Witness.
That was so good. They actually, that show ended up going on to Destination America, which does
Yeah,
nothing but paranormal stuff all flipping day.
yeah,
You
yeah.
know, I'm
Did you
pretty
ever
sure
see
that's ghosts.
did you
So
ever enjoy the Josh Gates shows?
I don't know
That
what shows did he
all
do.
he did he has one called um well, the first one he had on Sci-Fi was called Destination Truth, and then later on it turned into something else. Um, but the Destination Truth ones had some great episodes where because he was always going in as a skeptic, and I think he sold it to me. He may have been fooling me, but I think he was pretty good. And what do you call it? The thing that I liked was he went to Mexico one time with his crew, and his whole thing was, I'm going to debunk this, and I thought that was clever because it gave you a different reason to watch the show. So he would always find reasons why this wasn't real or whatever. But this one time he went and the equipment that they had was all off. They were in this desert of Mexico looking at what they thought might be a grave site for something. And these light orbs showed up in the air. This is like we're talking like that show, that radio show.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah. I'm talking about.
but I like that show. So, and then he's like, dude, I can't explain it. All the equipment was off, but we were still registering sound on the special microphone they have that I forget what they
Yeah,
call it.
like the boom mic and everything.
Yeah, no, it's a special kind of microphone that they use for stuff like that. Not atomic. I wouldn't say
Probably
atomic.
a ghost mic. I got you.
The ghost.
I do
The,
that. I go to Best Buy. You guys have ghost mics? They're like, what? I'm like, come on, dude. Ghost, I think my house is possessed or some shit. I found like my kitchen knives were in my fridge. Like that's it. That's the only way you think it's possessed. Like, yeah, kitchen knives in the fridge, man. Oh shit. You know what? No, I did that. My bad, bro. Let me get an iMac.
oh my God. Hey, what about the thing? John
What thing?
Carpenter's The Thing. The
I
thing
know what
is,
you're talking about. We talked about
yeah.
this already too. I don't know. It's not scary to me.
Ah, but it's good though. It's intense. It's
It
also
is
very
intense. It's just nuts. I don't know. I think things that are grounded in reality in a sense of like zombies are never real. But when I was a kid and I saw zombie movies and I walked by a cemetery, I would run by the cemetery. So I'm
yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah.
you guys better not wake up. You know,
Yeah, zombies are good. 28 Days Later is a good zombie movie. That's my favorite one.
that's a good one. Yeah, that's a good one. Oh man, but that's what I'm saying. Like that's why like religious movies, like Michael Myers, cool. It's fun. I'll enjoy it, but I won't get the same out of it as I would, like I said, a movie where all of a sudden something flies across the room. And when you're at home and you suddenly, all of a sudden, you're thinking about that or something related, you're like, oh shit. Like, for
Yeah,
some reason,
yeah.
you have that feeling like that's going to fly across the room. You know what I mean? Those, like, those are the ones to me that anything that you think afterwards and it kind of just trips you out, those are the scary ones.
Yeah, that's what happened to me with the Blair Witch. I remember, and it's because of the sensory deprivation in that space where it was always dark. So
Yeah,
your
it's,
eyes are like blown out. Your irises are totally jacked
yeah,
out. And then when I
yeah,
remember I was walking, huh?
no, you're right. You're right. Yeah.
Yeah, so I remember walking my dog. I had just seen the movie with my sister. She doesn't like that kind of stuff anymore. Back then, she was more adventurous. And I was like, oh, she was because my wife won't see those movies with me. I'm like, I need a. Well, that's what Andy does. Andy will watch them with me. But anyway, I I'm walking my dog, and because I have been in that dark theater for so long, I could see things moving that wasn't moving, of course, but I just thought it was moving because it was so much like I was attuned to the light was just anything that was moving, I could see it, even in the dark. And I thought, man, it really got to me. I was like, oh, this is a cool effect, man. After an hour after I leave the theater, I'm still experiencing the because remember that one scene where when they find that little bundle of something, like what
Yep.
was
Mhm.
that?
All
They
it
didn't ever really.
was, well, no, remember it was like hair and twigs and some teeth, and they start freaking out, and they think
Yeah,
it
yeah,
belongs to the guy that's missing from the group, and they
yeah,
keep,
yeah.
I mean, the whole movie,
Michael.
yeah, they yell Michael's name the whole entire movie,
Oh wait, which is
and
Mike? Oh, Mike was the other guy. What was the other guy that the was the blonde guy?
yeah,
Like
yeah. Well, I
stuttering.
mean, the part even when they get to the little house, whatever, it freaks you out when he's in the corner, he's not saying anything. You know what I mean? Like the whole thing just freaks you out because I remember I was a janitor for the state in California during college, and I worked night shift and worked in this high-rise building. And basically, you had to call in security to turn on the floor lights while you clean I vacuumed the floors,
Hmm.
and they would turn off automatically in the middle, and you're like, oh shit, I gotta find a phone in the dark and call somebody. And that movie, it was right when I got out of that movie, like a week after, and I'm literally freaking out in the building. I'm like, what the hell's going on in here? This is a witch in here. I was like going nuts. Like, what the, I know. Like, I'd literally run into the main hall where there was light and just stare at my vacuum like it's going to turn on and go by itself. Like, like that's what I'm talking about. Movies like that, you're like, that movie really messed with me. Like, what the, like The Exorcist, when I first saw it, I was like 11. That was a bad idea. That thing tripped me out. And then, and it was my mom's fault because my brother wanted to watch a really scary movie because it was like Halloween. And my mom's like, we'll go to Blockbuster. And then she's like, oh, I saw this as a kid. It's the worst. You'll never want to see it. Here, we'll rent this one. And I was like, you just said it's the worst. And then we're sitting there, and my brother's like, I've always heard of this. I want to see it so bad. And, he's like 18 at the time. And I'm like, this is nothing scary so far. Oh my gosh, she's walking backwards like a spider. And then she pissed. What the fuck's going on? And then the
Oh
devil
yeah,
showed up. And
yeah. You know what
yeah,
I
you never
like?
saw the whole thing, though, huh?
Not. I've always seen it in parts. I was too
Oh,
chicken to
so you
see
know
it.
what happens at the end then, right?
Yeah, the about the priest, right?
The priest basically the demons
Yeah,
jumps into him and he commits suicide, but he's not actually dead. If you watch part three, part three is kind of a trip. Yada yada yada.
I heard three was a really good one.
No, it's good. It's a trip though. It's crazy. Yeah,
Hey, what do you think
that's
about this ponytail? What if I give this guy a ponytail like that, like a little?
don't no. Because remember Thor had a ponytail and he already has a beard, and we're going too Norse now, and I don't know about
Is it?
this.
Is it Norse? Okay.
Just give him a Jerry curl.
I like the hair still better
No, well, there we go.
because it makes for an interesting silhouette.
Okay.
I mean,
Well,
it'd be
I think
scary.
it's cool.
I took the wrong advice from Critias.
Mm. Yeah, but yeah, movies. There's your movie wrap up, folks. Go watch Halloween. If you want a drama, go watch Star Wars Born. If you want a fun action adventure, I guess, whatever you want to call it, go watch Venom. And there's your movie roundup.
Ta-da! We got to do this again
And
next time with some more
if you
movies.
have Netflix, watch The Haunting of Hill House, Apostle, which is also good.
Ooh, that does look good. Just a new one that they have. They're advertising the the. I don't know how to say
The
the first
blacksmith.
name.
It's the blacksmith and the devil.
Yeah, that looks pretty
Yeah,
cool.
that looks good. That's I think it's a French movie. Might be. Oh, it's Spanish. It's a Spanish movie dubbed in
Is it?
English.
What about
Yeah,
The Ritual? Have you seen The Ritual?
I haven't seen it. It reminded me of Blair Witch. I
My
just haven't
kids
seen it.
saw it. They enjoyed it. They thought
Okay,
it
yeah, I
was
haven't
great.
seen that one.
That doesn't
But
mean it's good.
I'm excited when Netflix drops scary movies. I'm like,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
I don't have to pay for it. Let's see it. See what it's like. I mean, I am paying for it, but
Dude, there's someone there I won't watch. There's that one that has that weird clown guy that he's
oh yeah,
this
yeah, 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 yeah.
jacked up head, kind of like a cone head.
Yeah, and
Is
it's just called Fear. Yeah,
that what it is? And then the other
yeah.
one, there's the other one that has that guy with the bug eyes.
Oh yes, yeah. I actually started watching that one. It was okay.
See, that's the only downside to the Netflix stuff is it's hit or miss. Every once in a while I'll catch one that's like, oh snap, that was cool. And then other times I'll be like, it's all right. Like I really enjoyed The Void, but I love Lovecraft, so it's like, oh, it was so fun
Yeah,
to
I mean, it
watch
was
that.
a fun movie, but like I told you, I just felt like I was watching a long episode of Twilight Zone.
No, fair enough. What about Hellraiser? Did you enjoy that?
It was okay. It was
I haven't
okay.
watched that one yet either.
I think I saw the original three. You know, it was okay. I mean, nothing. I don't know. I mean, Hellraiser is kind of, when they always kind of talk about like the legendary horror characters like Freddy and Jason and Michael Myers and Hellraiser's like that bench player that they just throw on the team. You know, it's like, invite him. Sure, he's kind of cool. That's how I always feel about Hellraiser. The girl from The Exorcist is there spinning her head around, and she's like a starter on the team. Pinhead's like, I don't get it. I rip flesh off of people. We're like, yeah, but Predator does too. Like, you're okay at best. Are you
well,
related to Jesus in any way? We'll let you in.
well, you know what, man? To be honest, Predator was an excellent horror movie, in my opinion.
That's just that's an action adventure. I mean, it's not even
No,
an adventure, really,
you gotta
right?
watch it again, though. Watch it
It's
again
it's
because
it's an action movie in the end.
it it is. But the dude, the guy's literally picking them all off one by one.
Well,
He's like a
and
monster in the
yeah,
woods.
that's what I'm. Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. When it's hard to kind of throw it in a category because it's not there's not a lot of action going on. It's him picking
Right.
off people one by one until the end when they fight each other.
That's why I say it's a horror movie. How about
I
Alien? How
mean,
about Alien? Do you like Alien as a horror movie?
I see. To me, it's not a horror movie. It's a thriller, I guess, at best. Yeah,
Ah,
because
really?
because like I said again, you're not scared of Predator. You're not scared of, like you can be scared of Freddy Krueger as a kid
Uh,
because the idea is when I fall asleep, oh shit, I do not want to go to bed. And
sure.
wait, is he in my room? Like you think all of a sudden, you just scary shit. Same as Michael Myers, same as Jason, right? Jason is like, if you're a kid and you saw a guy on the street dressed as Jason that's Halloween, you think, oh shit, what the hell? But if
Yeah,
somebody was
that's true.
dressed on the street like Alien or Predator, you're like, oh, that's cool, bro. Cosplay? All right. You know what I mean? It's like it's just it's not scary. It's just it's a thriller. It's an adventure. All alien movies to me are, let's see how the alien kills him this time and how they kill the alien.
I guess.
It's the same premise as Die Hard is not a Christmas movie.
Oh, you're wrong. You're absolutely wrong about that. It's fun for the whole family. Hey guys, I appreciate you guys hanging out with us. This is the Jerkmonger and Lafayette chilling together, drawing secret stuff for my next project. And let's see here. Has this guy got one of those shaved heads, blue-haired weirdo haircuts? Sure, geek out loud. I love how you just put me into a dunk tank like that. You guys are having private conversations. Best part of Hellraiser was his face. LOL. I thought those lines were a great design. Yeah, I drew that guy the other day. If you guys are having fun with hanging out with us, I appreciate you guys being with us. Hit that like button. It's been such a good time just kind of just hanging out with my friend and just shooting the shite, being cool and me drawing this guy, trying to figure out what he looks like. I'll do another one of these soon where I'll be drawing what I think some of the other characters are. But I like this one. I like this drawing here. It's pretty cool. Kind of has a bit of all of that stuff together.
Yeah, no, that one's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, no, wait. So this character's for what project? Not the project we've always talked about, where the guy's married and so on and so forth, and
No.
comes back.
I'm gonna tell you about this one after when we sign off. I think you're gonna
Gotcha.
appreciate it because
Yeah, well, you know,
yeah.
yeah. Let's do it next time because I have to sign off.
Okay, brother.
So you guys enjoy the rest of Elliot and his crazy adventures, and don't forget that you got to hit the little bell to get a notification. He's live on YouTube, and your phone will let you know. Hit subscribe, hit like, and hit dislike if you think Die Hard is a Christmas movie. Thank you for coming. Have a good night.
All right. Thanks you guys for hanging out with me. I appreciate y'all. We'll talk again soon. Jerkmonger over and out. Bye.